Good evening, everyone. In 1999, the Gwynn Model Towners made the playoffs and finished with a loss in the semifinals. 17 years later, the Model Towners will find themselves back in the playoffs, and tonight they got a chance to celebrate just like it was 1999. The Model Towners packed themselves into the Up North Lodge for the big announcement. The crowd on hand exploded in excitement to see their name on the screen. It's a moment that this team will cherish as they head into the postseason.
The atmosphere is great. It's unbelievable. Everybody came out to see the selection show. We happy to punch our own ticket, and we know that we got a lot of work to do, and it's all about these guys. It really is.
Well, I've been dreaming about this moment, my whole life, just being able to play in a tournament game, and it's I don't know, it's indescribable, really. Man, I've been thinking about this for I don't even know how long, and to just know that it's finally here, all the hard work's paid off, and that you're finally here. It's awesome.
The Model Towners will get a familiar opponent in the first round of the playoffs. They will face the Iron Mountain Mountaineers, who beat Gwynn in week 2, 34-18. So let's head over to the scoreboards to check up more on that matchup. That game looks like it'll be on Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central Time inside the yellow walls. Let's head over to Division 8, where the undefeated Lakeland and Hubble Lakes entertain North Dickinson for the second time this season. The Lakes defeated the Nordics 24-6 in week 8. Kickoff is Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, noon Central Time. And then not far apart from each other, but not facing each other since 2001, Norway will host West Iron County. That game is Friday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. St. Ignace greets the Hillman Tigers in round 1. They last met in the 2013 playoffs with the Saints marching to an easy win. We hope the game is on Friday night. We'll wait to hear on that one. And finally, in in D8, Newberry has its first round home game for the first time in more than a decade. The Indians will entertain the Snowbird of Gaylord St. Mary Friday at 7 o'clock. We'll bounce back to Division 6 as the Negaunee Miners will host the Charlevoix Raiders Friday night at 7 o'clock. Negaunee defeated Charlevoix in the playoffs 2 years ago, 21-12. Also in D6, Calumet finally gets to entertain Boyne City north of the bridge at Saturday at 1 p.m. The Copper Kings dropped a 20-8 decision to the Ramblers in the district final just a year ago. In Division 5, a first-time matchup as Kalkaska invades Walton Blesch Stadium to face Menominee. The Blazers are coached by new NMU Sports Hall of Famer Jeremy Wilkinson. The game will more than likely be on Saturday. Also in D5, Kingsford faces Grayling for the third time in 5 seasons. They've split the previous 2 meetings. That contest will also more than likely be on Saturday. And one game for the UP in Division 4 as Escanaba entertains the Whitehall Vikings in what appears to be a first-time meeting. Whitehall plays in the West Michigan Conference. We're guessing this game will also be on Saturday as well. To 8-man football, the defending state champion North Central Jets will get Rapid River Friday at 7 o'clock, 6 Central Time. The Jets cruised earlier this season over the Rockets 76-18. The Rockets did make the playoffs because 2 teams from the Lower Peninsula lost on Friday. Forest Park earns a home game against Stevenson in the first year of 8-man football. That game is Friday night at 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. Forest Park beat the Eagles in week 3. Cedarville travels to Engadine for the second time in 4 weeks. Engadine won the first battle 52-42, but the Cedarville Trojans have suffered some injuries since that game. The rematch should be Friday at 7 o'clock. And finally, Fife Lake Forest area crosses the Mackinac Bridge to challenge Pickford. This is a first-time pairing, and the date and time will be announced shortly. High school cross-country finals that took place yesterday in the small Delta County community of Flat Rock. Here's the girls' Division 1. In the girls' race, the race was shaping up somewhat normally in the first mile as Negaunee's Clara Johnson and Emily Popor had the lead with Marquette's Becky McNamee in 3rd place. In the end, though, the Sault Ste. Marie girls won the Division 1 title with 34. We're talking the first time in about 40 years or so. Marquette was 2nd, Houghton was 3rd. To the Division 2 girls, where Ishpeming was looking for its 3rd straight championship. Go Gibbic's Lily Wangerin, grabbed the early advantage, but the black shirts of Munising and blue shirts of the West Iron County Wycons were close behind. The Mustangs' Alyssa Weber took charge by the time the runners reached the front side of the Flat Rock Cemetery. Wangerin was next, followed by the Mustangs' Maddie Prayer-Mackey, and that was enough. Of course, in the end of this one, Ishpeming does win the title. Munising takes 2nd, and Hancock finish is in 3rd. And finally, in Division 3, It was an interesting twist. Every time you see a 2-mile defending champion Chassell runner, it's seeing one more Cedarville one was in the neighborhood. The Eastern UP Trojans did capture the title in the very end of this one as they crowned 5 runners in the top 14. Chassell did finish in second, Dollar Bay in third. And of course, for more sports scores and highlights, you can visit us online at uppermichigansource.com.
It was a huge night in Chicago last night.
It was a huge night in Chicago tonight, but it was a great night in Gwinn, most importantly for those guys. Actually, the young man that I interviewed there, Carter Garangilly, he said, I asked him, when was your birthday? And he said, October 30th of 1999. So he had never seen Gwinn in the playoffs. So what a cool moment for these seniors.
That is very cool. Hopefully they can have a great game, too.
Absolutely. A tough one against Iron Mountain, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome.